appreciate the support you guys give us on a weekly basis. All right, so let's get to another match that we kind of like went into it probably with low expectations, but to me, I thought the match itself was pretty entertaining, which was the 20 women battle royal. Um, every woman got an entrance, so that was nice. Probably didn't get the possible winner that you wanted, but it was still a pretty entertaining battle royal. Nia Jax gets the win. She goes on to get a future title shot against obviously Ronda Rousey. And also the last two remaining was Ember Moon and Nia Jax. Final four of the and also Zelina Vega was also still in the match as well. We'll go with you first, Dave. What did you think of the 20-woman battle royal and the outcome of it?
Well, you know what? Again, we're going back to the same thing again. This was another nostalgia feeling match, and you've seen all these. It was really cool, and I think even Justin said he got goosebumps from seeing like Alundra Blaze come out in the ring, which was so cool to see her in a ring again. And Ivory, another one. I mean, just to see some of these women.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember watching, and it may sound like I'm fucking old, but I remember watching Alundra Blaze when I was a kid. Yeah, and all of her Bull Nakano matches and stuff like that. It's just crazy to see her wrestling in 2018, especially with Ivory as well.
How about Beth Phoenix wearing a Bull Nakano shirt?
No, yes, and see that funny that you mentioned Beth Phoenix. Why the hell was Beth Phoenix not in this battle royal? Has she kind of like called wrestling quits? Is she done with wrestling? Period. Because I'm honestly surprised that she was not in this battle royal. Out of all the women in there, and she has, history with the WWE. I'm surprised she wasn't in this battle royal.
Yeah, but I didn't think about that at the time. But I mean, I get it, but it didn't really matter too much because she was going to be in it for 2 or 3 minutes to get thrown out. Maybe she didn't want to look for her character. I guess just to do that. I mean, because it wouldn't be special anymore because she was just in the Rumble. Maybe she's looking at it like that too from a character perspective. I was just in a battle royal. I was just in the Rumble. I don't know if I want to do it again.
She was in the Royal Rumble. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean,
totally forgot about that.
Like we were saying, this match was fun. I mean, it was nice to see some old faces again. I still think Michelle McCool could be still out there wrestling because she looked good out there. She really, out of all the legends, she might have looked the best out there.
I think she's perfectly okay on commentary. I think so, Aaron. I laughed at Alex's tweet when he said, I want to see Michelle McCool tombstone someone. I laughed my ass off when I read that. I was like, man, if she did that, that would be fantastic. But what about Nia Jax winning, Dave? What did you think about that?
Well, not to toot my own horn, but I did pick her to win. But toot. So I mean, I didn't. I like everyone else probably. I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity to really put Ember Moon over. And I'm not even going to talk about who she eliminated because that kind of ticked me off. I was like, are you freaking serious with us right now? But I'm not going to go there.
Well, she got one over on Asuka finally.
Asuka's always gotten over Ember and everything, even in the Royal Rumble.
But just the last 6 months, how they've been treating Asuka is just like,
doesn't help anything.
Fair enough. But I did think that
I thought Ember was
storyline there. The storyline between Ember and Asuka was, and how they portrayed it in the Rumble or Battle Royal, where finally Ember Moon eliminates her, gets one over on Asuka finally. I can understand why people are upset that Asuka was eliminated and probably wasn't in the finals, but I mean, people would be pissed off if she got eliminated anytime during that match. They wanted her to win.
I agree, and it's fine. I don't mind Ember doing that, but I mean, I actually thought they were going to go Ember. I'm like, okay, sweet. You're going to actually push Ember and finally give her like a little run. Nope, just to put over Asuka or Nia. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to go there. But it seems like that's the reason. But yeah. I mean, it was a fun match. It was entertaining. A lot more entertaining than I think everyone thought. So it was fun seeing everyone and seeing what they did. Ivory looked really good out there too, just to give her some.
And how about when Carmella did the dance break? It seems like that's becoming a hit. I don't know if maybe it was just with that specific crowd, but I saw the fans dancing with her.
And how about her reaction? She got a good reaction coming out, and we've been saying this for weeks on the SmackDown or the Raw post show on Tuesdays that R-Truth has basically saved her career as she's getting reactions now.
Yeah, and what also it was pretty cool to see R-Truth in the crowd and
yeah, the other
him
male
cheering on Carmella, and the Miz was there cheering on Asuka. Of course, Balor was there cheering on Sasha Banks, but I just thought it was an interesting little concept to have them in there, and Bailey, excuse me, not Sasha, Bailey, and have them out there cheering them on. Now, how about that spot with Vega when she got thrown by Nia Jax into Tamina? I think Tamina was supposed to put her hands up, but obviously did not get it up in time, and she got clocked right in the face by Vega's knee or thigh or whatever, and it looked like Vega took a pretty tough bump as well. So it was a very interesting, entertaining battle royal. Now, what about you, Alex? What did you think of it?
R-Truth did not save Carmella's career. Fortnite did. It's just a fad.
Fortnite? What's that got to do with it?
It's the Fortnite dance.
Oh, the Fortnite dance? That's because R-Truth is trying to show Carmella what's up. Yeah. Tamina can't. Yeah, that was a brute, man. I was surprised she didn't break her nose or something because it was a pretty brutal spot. Now,
I'm not a fan of the dance break. I don't care for it. I get it's over, but I don't care for it. The match itself was it was fun. I'll give you that. It's cool to see the legends definitely launder blaze. I definitely wanted it to be Ember and Asuka last, and then have Ember eliminate. Actually, no problem with that. Like that progressed their little thing, and I definitely don't care for Nia and Rousey too. But you know what? It makes sense because really, there's no one like that you could buy going against Rousey when you look at how all the women have been built. Like they have really nothing else to offer Rousey.
But see, here's the thing. Excuse me. In a battle royal, too, you know, seemingly Nia Jax should win because really only one that really could probably throw her over the top is probably Tamina, or if they all, ganged up on her, which they didn't. But you're not really happy with the outcome of Nia Jax winning?
I mean, I don't care to see Rousey and Nia again. Like, I really don't. But I get why they're doing it because Rousey has no one else.
Yeah, they haven't really built anybody up to be a next real threat to Ronda Rousey, other than Nikki Bella, if you want to count her. But I mean, they haven't really made anyone like a serious threat to her. And she beat Nia Jax, but Nia Jax definitely took her to her limit, and that's probably. I mean, her match tonight wasn't too bad, but for the most part, that was probably Ronda Rousey's best match she's had. So maybe they think, to me, Nia Jax and Rousey would work again, probably maybe at a Survivor Series pay-per-view. We'll have to see about that.
What do you guys think of the post-match interview?
Different. I'm not sure what that had to do with anything. Because I know Alex put on Twitter that she expects Nia Jax to ultimately turn heel again, but the way that they are portraying her is that she is a face, and she's crying after she's winning, and
I know, but it's like the first women's all women pay-per-view event in WWE. Everyone's emotional.
Right.
I'm talking about when Nia actually gets in the ring with Rousey. She's gonna act face, and then something like "I don't like you." I don't know, some stupid face shit, and then boom, she's a heel again.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see if Nia Jax turns heel after that. Now, was there anything else? I was going to mention something, but I think I lost my train of thought when you talked about it. No, I think that's it. Anything else, Dave? You want to touch on the Battle Royal?
No, we can move on.
All right, so let's go with the Io Shirai and Toni Storm match. Did Nia not lose to Ronda? Wasn't that the Bliss cash-in?
No, I was like, yeah, it was the cash-in. She didn't lose. Nia didn't lose to her. She won by DQ or whatever. But yeah, it was the cash-in.
That's right. Yes, my apologies. You're absolutely right. But that was leading up to that cash-in. It was probably Rousey's best match that she's had singles-wise. In the WWE. Now let's go to the Mae Young Classic. Io Shirai, Toni Storm. Definitely the match a lot of us fans were very, very much looking forward to, very excited to see. And I think a lot of people felt like this kind of ended up on the end of the stick. We'll go with you first, Alex, the big Io Shirai fan. What did you think of the match? And did they showcase Io Shirai pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one that got a short amount of time. It really only got 10 minutes, but it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, I think it was a good showcase for both of them, like to the general audience. Like, there was some good back and forth. Like, you got to see Io Shirai just like do like moonsaults off of everything and 619s, like you name it. Tony Storm like firing back with these crazy suplexes. Like, it didn't hold back in the short time, so it was fast paced. And I'm honestly not upset that Tony won. I think I love Io Shirai, but obviously you could see in Tony WWE like sees big things in her, especially. And we all know how Vince loves Japanese wrestlers. So, but yeah, no, it was fun match. It got the point across. I mean, Io Shirai is gonna be amazing at NXT, and Tony Storm's gonna kill it in NXT UK.
Yeah, and now here's the thing now too is that you know you get Io Shirai losing. Of course, she is signed with the WWE, so she's already going to be probably debuting on the NXT roster very very soon, on TV. I mean, now Tony Storm is a different little story. She's on NXT UK. Along with Rhea Ripley, those two ladies are going to be one of the reasons why you probably tune into NXT UK every week. Now, do you think they stick Tony Storm on the UK show for good, or do you think they eventually move her up to the NXT, or do you think you'll see her on the main roster maybe in a year or so?
I think like I said, Tony Storm's so young. She's 22. I think she could help build the UK roster, then go to the NXT, then go main roster.
So, do you think a lot of these guys that are on the UK show right now are going to, excuse me, eventually move up to the NXT show, and then if they see something in them, they move them to the main roster? Do you think it's like as a minor leagues of NXT kind of thing?
No, honestly, like the way I see it is that I could see them like, coming to NXT and like doing like these special crossover matches, stuff like that. But in terms of a long-term investment in WWE, like when I think of the British roster, like out of all of them, honestly, like Pete Dunne so far is the only one that you could see them like wanting to keep full time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Io Shirai since you've never seen her?
I've seen her in her Mae Young Classic match, but this was kind of her big time match. I think the match kind of was shorter than I thought it would have been. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but I thought the match itself was still pretty entertaining. I like how she did the 619 and all that, and the moonsault outside the ring was very smooth, and she did a very good job in the match. I kind of figured Io Shirai was going to win, but I didn't. I mean, I'm sorry, lose. I thought Tony Storm would probably win, but I just kind of came out of nowhere with her winning a little bit. But I still enjoyed the match. What about you, Dave?
I mean, yeah, without kind of spoiling NXT UK and NXT a little bit, they are going to be sharing talent because I don't know if any of you guys seen this past week's episode yet, but there is some NXT talent who are currently on NXT that did appear or will be appearing on NXT UK. So you can kind of guess who that is. So yeah, monster
here, Jesus.
The matches, I was like you said, Tony, I was taken back as well. I was like, I did think Shirai was gonna win, but I was surprised how quick it went, and the match was good. It was fun. I was getting into it, and then it was just like it's over. I was like, hey, it's over. Oh, okay. I mean, that just kind of threw me off. So I guess I overhyped the match in my head more because I was like, okay, maybe did they not want this match to outshine any of the other women on the main roster or something? Because it like,
well, like I told you in the Twitter chat room that Red Sox fan was in here, like repeating himself about Tony Storm being injured and she's battling some type of a back injury. So I don't know if maybe that she is. So maybe they cut the match a little bit shorter than they were going to originally. To me, she looked fine out there. I don't know if she looked any different than she's had before, but she looked fine to me. Now, Yeah, I think maybe they. I mean, they went over the 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock hour on the East Coast time, so it's not like they were rushing on time or hurting on time. So it's just kind of weird how this match kind of ended to me out of nowhere, and I thought it was going to go a little bit longer than it did, but I can't really complain too much. I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
up right now,
because
Bobrisky.
I thought, thinking like, okay, Becky Lynch and Charlotte in this match right here are probably going to get the most time because these are the
This
even the
match
yeah even
went 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
yeah I thought those three matches actually in the NXT Women's title. I thought these three matches were going to get a good amount of time, but hey, you know what? It showcased both women. They both look good out there. It gets you excited for the checking out the UK side because that's where you're going to see Toni Storm, which kind of sucks too because you're going to see Toni Storm, but you're gonna have to tune into NXT UK and not just NXT. So that kind of sucks. Unless she's gonna do both, I don't know. But I mean, it's possible.
Good point by Spees. He says, to be fair, those two are probably the least known wrestlers on the entire card to the non-hardcore. Yeah, that's true. Maybe they thought
Yeah, but
not a lot of people would have known who they are. That's actually kind of a good point.
But you know what they could have done if everything was fine and no one's hurt, which if they aren't good, but they could have went out there and like, wow, those two women, I don't know them, but they just freaking killed it.
Okay, so maybe instead of 10, would you have liked maybe 15?
Yeah, 15 minutes would have been great.
Let's see. The Trish Stratus match, that went 11 minutes, and the Battle Royal itself went 16 minutes. So let's go to the next match, which was the 6-woman tag match, where we had Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya taking on the Riot Squad. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was an entertaining match. It wasn't your usual typical Raw 6-woman tag match. You actually saw some unique stuff. You also saw Sasha Banks almost kill herself. We also saw almost Bayley almost kill herself as well. So they were just going all out tonight on this Evolution show. But what did you think of the 6-woman tag match, Alex?
It was scrappy, there were some spots where I was just like, but then like it was still entertaining. I'll give it that. I like the little spot with Bayley like covering Sasha, and the faces got to win. And all right, fuck it, who am I kidding? This is stupid. I can't believe Sasha and Bayley are here doing this at Evolution, hugging each other still. So
remember, they're supposed to face each other at SummerSlam, so don't forget.
No, now it's Survivor Series.
Oh, is it Survivor Series now, or is it WrestleMania, or is it a Raw episode that they're gonna face each other? It's just
main event.
God, yeah, the Sasha dive over the top. I mean, Sasha needs to learn that it might be time to, they might have to have the Daniel Bryan talk with Sasha Banks and tell her you might need to limit your dives because we don't want you to kill yourself in a live show because it's going to happen with her and her riskiness. And yeah.
Which side were you talking about? The senton?
I mean, every time she seems to do a spot outside the ring, I'm closing my eyes, not trying to see that she's killed herself or broke a neck or done something out there. You know what I mean? And then the Bayley spot at the end of the match, where she just kind of just flew out there and just, laid it all out there. But I still enjoyed the match. I actually enjoyed. Maybe I need to start coming into some matches with very low expectations, because then I feel like I like the matches a lot.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? What'd you think?
You know what? I could crap all over this. I didn't care for it, but you know what? It was what it was. It wasn't terrible. I mean, yeah, there was some good stuff. There was some bad, like that senton flip she tried to do, and it was just really bad. I mean,
I don't think she's practiced that enough times.
Yeah, I don't think they did at all. But
yeah.
Also, congratulations, Boston Red Sox. So, Red Sox fan, the Red Sox just won the World Series.
Yay! Fuck them. All right, now, what did you think of the match itself? You didn't like it? Didn't care for it too much?
I'm not gonna. Overall, this was a good show, so I'm not gonna shit on this match. It wasn't that bad. We'll probably see it again. I'll shit on it. I'll shit on the match when we see it tomorrow on Raw. That's what I'll see.
We'll see the rematch tomorrow night on Raw. Yeah, we'll see the rematch, and in the rematch, that's when Sasha will turn on Bayley, right? That's when it's gonna happen, right?
Sasha.
Yes, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, the Hug Connection's over. It's
And they're
done
gonna
with."
have the locker room brawl.
Yep. And then you're gonna have Nia come out, and you're gonna overhear her hearing shit talk about her from Ronda Rousey, and then she's gonna go into her locker room and start screaming and terrorizing it. Remember that? That's gonna happen too.
But one
Evolution.
thing I'll say about tonight was a lot of really predictable finishes. You know, it's like, oh, this is gonna everything that you basically think and should happen. It did happen. There was really no surprises out there.
Again, thank you for the hearts again, everybody. Thank you for joining us and sharing the product. We'll be back with you live again on Tuesday night for our SmackDown and Raw post show. So we appreciate everybody popping in here. And don't forget, Speeds and the Benchmark, who are fellow supporters and followers of our show. They go live Mondays after Raw. So please give them a follow. And if you like to interact after Raw, either it's bitching or praising it, they're your show to go to. They even take phone calls, so you can even bitch live on air. That's even better. So next we had Shayna Baszler taking on Kairi Sane. I think everybody knows the outcome because we played Shayna Baszler's theme music to open up the show. And the number one rule on this show is if we see a title change hands, we play the winner's theme music. So Shayna Baszler won the championship, kind of in a little bit of a controversial way, where the four horsewomen getting a little bit more involved now on TV, get involved in the match. So you're going to probably expect to see them a little bit more on WWE NXT. What did you think of this match, Alex, and the outcome with Shayna Baszler winning the NXT title?
Good. I mean, I said it earlier. Like, I think if like a lot of people aren't really expecting much from this match, but I'd say don't sleep on these two. I thought it was their best match, and I like their match from the takeover, and it was like good back and forth pace. I mean, Kyrie did an amazing like Macho Man body splash off the top and everything, and it's good. I like the ending, and I'm fine with Shayna winning because you have a women's heel stable on NXT. I love stables, like I think we all do, and it's good to see like now you have like a women's stable. Yes, it's the MMA ones, but you know what? I'd love to see that story where you have them just running the NXT division and you have all these up and coming baby faces like trying to go up against them.
Now, look at DX in the chat room says, give Dave credit. He was the only one that predicted Shayna would win. Let's go through the chat real quick. Oy says, Bob Ruski, check Twitter. Jeff Jarrett is now bald. Oh, God. Guess what? I'm actually going to Raw tomorrow in Charlotte. Oh, awesome, Shemai Hills. Enjoy it, dude. And then they're going to go to therapy. Yes, Adam. I think he's referring to Bailey and Sasha Banks. Now, when's the last time we've seen a women's stable in NXT? Have we ever?
Oh, what are you talking about? The welcome committee.
That was in NXT though.
No, in NXT, no, never.
Well, not true. The Charlotte.
Oh, Bailey, the four horsewomen.
Yeah, when they were all like,
they weren't really like a stable. They just like did the group hug pose after the Bailey Sasha match. They never really
but
did stuff together.
There was like 3 of them that were together in a group. I think it was I can't remember which 3, but 3. I know Becky and Sasha were a team at one point in NXT too. I can't remember if there was I think it was
Iconic.
Summer Rae.
It's the only one really, I guess. The Iconics.
It was Summer Rae.
If you want to call them that.
Because they were teamed with Summer Rae, I believe. Because Summer Rae is the one who got Sasha to turn heel and back in the NXT days. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to talk about this match because I actually enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was a fun match. And I love the fact that the other girl and Mrs. Strong got involved. I mean, because this reminded me of the old – I'm sorry, I know they aren't wrestling horse women, but that's what it reminded me of, the 4 horsemen. Because back in the day, you would see stuff like this all the time where, like,
the baby face,
back. Yeah, Arn and Tully would jump up the apron and get punched and knocked off the apron and all that. I kind of enjoy, speaking of nostalgia,
keep the title.
Yeah, speaking of nostalgia, they kind of give you a little nostalgia feel to that kind of stuff, and I liked it. And I enjoyed how they got involved in this could be a fun little stable on NXT. I mean, I'm interested to see more of the other two wrestle actually, so it's gonna be fun. I know
Shayna looked like a badass tonight. She looked like a
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she did.
definitely turned it up.
I also want to say a special thanks to Bobaruski, moderator in the chat room, getting rid of all of these porn bots tonight. So do appreciate him getting on it and muting all these trolls that come in here. And so taking a load off of me to not do it. And I appreciate him taking those responsibilities. So we do appreciate Bobaruski taking care of the garbage in the chat room. Thank you, my friend. Shemaiah Mills says Becky, Sasha, and Charlotte. Oh, Paige, Becky, and Charlotte. They were called PBGC.
No, he's talking. I think they're talking about NXT.
Okay, maybe I'm sorry, I misread that. Then I apologize. Then so rematch, War Games.
Probably.
Oh, for this again? Oh, brother.
You win, you lose the title, you go for it.
Oh, for 3 straight. Another. I don't want to see another match between these people.
You would have.
Sorry,
I mean, they could do it at an NXT taping, but I think they've already taped their tapings to War Games. So that's gotta be kind of weird if they did do that, because you would have to think, if you're a fan there, you already kind of knew this match, the spoiler of this match. You would have to assume. So yeah, you would.
I mean, man, I don't like that idea at all, though. But I mean, why not give the women the War Games? How about that? The 4 horsewomen, at least 3 of them.
That's funny that you said that. Jugati in the chat says we're going to get 2 War Game matches at War Games, so. A men's match and a women's match.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
now who would the women be? If you could think 4 women, or you would have to think it's well, how would that work?
What if, because it's the women, they only do 3-on-3?
Okay, so who goes with Kyrie?
Io Shirai. I would have to say Io Shirai.
I'd say Io Shirai and Bianca Belair.
No, she's a heel.
Dude, she's a pal. Ah, fuck it.
Hey, let's bring Asuka back. She's not doing anything on SmackDown anyway, so just bring her back to NXT and she can join them.
Team Japan versus the 4 horsewomen.
That would be awesome. Come on.
I think what you would have to think they would recruit someone off. And who's right now is Candice, maybe? I don't know. I would just Cross. I don't know. Nikki Cross. Yeah. I would be interesting to see if they actually do that, a women's War Games match.
If they did 4-on-4, the only person I could think that would fit that group would be Rhea Ripley.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, how about her in the crowd tonight doing that slow clap for the Mae Young Classic? That was beautiful. That was great. Who was the other Japanese talent in the Mae Young Classic this year?
There was a couple of them.
Miko, right?
Another one. Wasn't there another one too, though?
There was, but I think she was like eliminated in the first round, so I don't remember.
Yeah, by Miko, I think. But yeah.
How about the ref kicking the chair to Becky to get out of the figure 4? Yeah, we're about to get to that match, and actually next right now. That match went 12 minutes and 10 seconds. The match before that, the 6-woman tag match, went 13 minutes. This match right here went a whopping 28 minutes. The match got all the time they needed, and this match was fire.
You know what?
Fire.
Because this match should have been the main event. Let's make it our main event.
Let's touch on this. Yes, I agree with you. So let's touch on the main event of the Evolution pay-per-view, which was Ronda Rousey taking on Nikki Bella with Brie Bella at ringside. Nikki Bella ends up tapping out via armbar. Ronda Rousey retains her title in 14 minutes. What did you think of the main event of Evolution, Alex?
Kind of booked as you expected it. The Brie was going to get involved a lot. A little bit of a miscue, like Brie having to crawl onto Nikki's back to pull off the Samoan drop. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Over the top rope, and it's like, hey.
At one point, though, Nikki took a bad spot on her neck. She was going for a baseball slide, and Ronda dodged it, but Nikki, like, when she slid, like, snapped her head back. and she was like slow to move in for a bit. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, I mean, after seeing Charlotte and Becky, I was just drained, and I honestly didn't care. I was just waiting for Rousey to win.
Oh yeah, and poor Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella to be put on in the main event after what happened before that match. I mean, that had to have been a very tough spot, but I think they did okay for what they were given.
It wasn't a bad match.
It wasn't a bad match, but like I said on Twitter, this match was definitely not main event worthy. Absolutely not. So, what about you, Dave? What'd you think?
You know, I was like, all of us, we were kind of like, oh, man, okay. Can this match like end in 2 seconds, please? I mean, because no one really cared about it, honestly. But you know what? I'll give credit where credit's due. Ronda didn't look too terrible out there. Either did Nikki. I mean, they put on if this was any other time in the show, they put on a pretty good match. I mean, probably Ronda's best match since she faced Nia. I mean, because it was
absolutely.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable match. I mean, not enjoyable to a point, but I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, there was some really cool spot off the top rope that Ronda hit when she did her armbar finish, and it was, you know what, in the crowd, like we talk about on here a lot, for so many people who bitch about Nikki online, that crowd was split down. Like you were saying to me, this crowd was split down the middle for Nikki and Ronda. I mean, so many people who bitch online about the Bella twins, they're still getting huge reactions. So you might hate them, but you know what? They're here to stay. Unless Nikki.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey Cross nails it right here. No one cared, but it was better. It was a better match than everyone expected, and I absolutely agree with him. And to be fair as well, they were put in a absolute tough spot. I mean, usually you get your squash matches, you get your stupid, silly ass, scenes or whatever have you, was promos or stupid stuff usually between a match like this. No, they jumped right into the main event, put Rousey in probably one of her toughest situations ever, other than probably being at WrestleMania, and having to end a match like that.
I was surprised because I was like, wow, I thought we were gonna get like the 6-man tag as a filler in between these two matches.
You get usually between those two matches you get a filler, but no, they went, all right, we're gonna get through the co-main event and the main event. So at least they showed these women, I mean, I should say Becky and Charlotte, enough respect to not have this match in the middle or at the front. They had it where it belonged, either in the main event or the co-main event. And
also, really quick, I'll give credit to WE for this. There was no at least unless I missed it, but there was no stupid, silly segments backstage. It was just straight wrestling show.
No Stephanie.
Absolutely. Yeah, no Stephanie, no backstage segments, no. The only thing WWE did get backlash for, and I can understand why some people got upset because it was probably not the best time to do it, was the Crown Jewel advertisements.
Oh,
and of course you had your sensitive people tweet away, oh, fuck WWE, now the show sucks, Evolution, this show's now garbage, come on now. I mean,
it was kind of in poor taste, not poor taste, but they're doing it.
It was pretty stupid to do it, but that didn't mean it took away from the enjoyment of my show. I still loved Evolution.
Yeah, I agree. When they showed that promo about women empowerment, and then yet in like 6 days they're going to a Crown Jewel who don't let women wrestle. I mean, it kind of, I don't know.
The timing wasn't the smartest.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speeds in the chat says Nikki gets way too much flack for being worse than other women on the roster. No way the rest of the roster is light years ahead of her, as some would have you believe. Absolutely. I think Nikki's past Brie Bella 100%. And I thought Nikki did well for herself tonight. I thought the match was very entertaining. I just think they were put in a tough spot, and it was and the feud itself didn't have a main event vibe to it, in my opinion.
No.
I love the crowd when they booed that POS Cole for advertising it. Were you surprised that they didn't announce the women tag titles? Yes. The idea that WWE wouldn't advertise their next big event at their current big event is silly. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? I get it. It's poor taste. Yes. It's not probably the smartest thing to do. But what the fuck do you want them to do when it's 6 days away?
They built it enough. Like, this is stupid.
It was stupid, but in a way,
from the enjoyment, but they built it over a month. They've overbooked it over Evolution. So let them have their show tonight.
Okay, I can feel you on that. The show was good. I just wanted more matches. I say 2 or 3 more. So Drew Gotti wanted it to go 4 hours tonight. That's what he wanted.
I thought Becky and Charlotte got the perfect amount of time.
Right. I could see the positives and the negatives with the crown jewel thing, but I absolutely don't think it ruined.
No, that's an overreaction.
No, it was just bad taste, and like, hey, well, they actually gave us a time too this time, so it's gonna be they're gonna have an 11 a.m. It'll be earlier for Tony, but for us on the East Coast, 11 a.m. pre-show for the show.
Yeah, it'll start at 11 o'clock my time, so I'll be able to.
So 10 o'clock in the morning.
At least most of it. It's on a Friday, so set your alarms up for Crown Jewel, everybody. If you're still interested in that show, they're going to be shoving it down your throats this week. And they still advertised Daniel Bryan, and they still advertised John Cena, even though rumors are saying that they're not going to be going to the show. So we'll see about that.
Well, you know what's going to happen, don't you? They're going to be like, "Welcome to the pre-show. Daniel Bryan and John Cena are here."
And and the other thing was funny was Stephanie McMahon was on the Periscope or whatever, and one thing she had said was this show has WrestleMania vibe to it, which made me laugh. That chuckled me because you did not promote it like it was a WrestleMania. And then number 2, she said that there's going to be more of these all-women pay-per-views in the future. So you kind of think, oh, well, you did sign a 10-year deal with Saudi, so I can understand why you're gonna have one of these each year right before Crown Jewel. I can imagine.
This is to make you forget that they're not going to be there next week.
Right.
I mean, since we're on the main event, what did you guys think of like the ending with all the women just standing out there? I mean, I personally didn't care for it. I guess I know kayfabe's dead. I get it, but I don't know. I just didn't like all the women out there. Oh, yay!
I can understand the criticism of it, but it's a huge deal. And God, a lot of people I'm sorry, and y'all might be fans of him in the chat. That JD from New York guy, I had to mute him because all I see is like negative shit, and I could only imagine what he said when he saw these ladies at the end of the night hugging and embracing each other for a big event. This is a big event for them, and I don't think any of them were acting like this was a big event. I don't think there were fake tears. I think this was actually a pretty big event, huge for them to be on a all women's pay-per-view in front of a pretty sold out crowd in front of them. So I didn't mind it too much. Yeah, kayfabe's dead. Yeah. But I thought it was a nice little touching moment. I'm surprised you didn't say something about Stephanie being there because she was there as well.
That was bad too. But even on the pre-show, it was they had a red carpet event and they were doing all this stuff, and I don't know. I mean, I get it was about the women and they were trying to make this seemed like if this would have been a small promotion doing something like this, it would have been fine. But it's WE, so it kind of always gets like, oh, come on, you guys are, it's kind of like, oh, why you guys
that extra WWE touch?
Yeah, and that's why it makes it look a little bit weaker to me because you're the biggest company, and yet you're doing something like that. To me, it's like,
well, you gotta to think about it. That's gonna probably be on some newspapers.
Yeah, like they build it for like mainstream, like
Sports Center, websites.
They build like the wrestling, but they like try to make this like a whole like red carpet Oscars event.
Yeah, they went pretty much all out for this show. They didn't promote it like they were going to do it tonight, like they did tonight. But, they did a pretty good job showcasing tonight. So let's get to the real main event.
And really quick, how about the foreshadowing of Becky and Ronda clinking titles together?
That was nice. I would love to see that match, to be honest with you. Speaking of Becky, let's get to the real main event. Certainly hope so. And yet there's an army of marked. Have you guys heard from have heard of JD from New York?
Of course. Who doesn't know JD?
That dude, I actually had to mute this dude because the astonishing disrespect this guy shows WWE in general, but will mark out and go to shows of WWE is just pathetic. I just had to mute him because it's just saying that the women are faking it and it's all just like, come on, dude. Like, you hate the WWE yet you watch it every week. What the fuck? Like,
Hey,
I don't get it.
Tony, that's the reaction of like 90% of the wrestling community online. they go to the events, they cheer it, but they bitch about it online all the time. That's the wrestling community.
The Survivor Series be champs versus champs. I don't think so. I think they're going a different. I don't think it's Raw versus SmackDown this year. I don't believe they're saying they're going to go a different route. Remember Team Angle, Team Corbin, ring a bell, Mr. Bobarooski. So let's. But he loves to tell you how popular he is. Yes, and his 10,000 subscribers on YouTube or whatever. Fuck. I just finally muted him. I was like, I can't take this shit anymore.
All right, let's go to the main event.
Main event: Becky Lynch Charlotte, last women's standing match. Obviously, this wasn't the first ever. Nikki Cross and Asuka had the first ever NXT one, but this was the first ever main roster last woman standing match, and this was a pretty damn good match. To me, honestly, in my opinion, the best women's main roster match I've ever seen. And I'm saying main roster because we've seen really good women's matches on the NXT. It was brutal. Chair shots, table shots, or table spots. How about the table not breaking? And I tweeted out, what did I tweet out? We don't break easy. I thought that was pretty funny. But it was a brutal match. I didn't think we were gonna get those type of chair shots Becky was giving Charlotte. I mean, Jesus. And yeah, the kendo sticks. They went into the crowd. They had they even had a ladder involved. And some of the counts were kind of bleh. The referee kind of, pausing on 9, kicking the chair to Becky Lynch, just kind of little things that were just kind of like, what the fuck? But the match itself, to me, is a match of the year candidate. I don't really have much else to say about this match. It just kicked ass to me. What about you, Dave? What'd you think?
Man, I think you're underselling it, Tony, because, man, this match was awesome. I mean, I would say give this match credit for possibly being the best match on the main roster all year. I mean, men and women.
Okay.
Because I can remember a better match from the men, even the men, than this match here tonight. I mean, I can't. I mean, straight up, and a great rivalry added to it with the rivalry they had going. I mean, to me, that even adds another layer to it. The heated rivalry these two had going. And this match is awesome. I loved it. Match of the year. I think everyone here at Get the Tables loved this match and thought it should have been main event. Match of the year. I mean, yeah, I mean, the moonsault she did, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, then the non-breaking table. I mean, geez.
Oh, Speeds, I got you covered, my friend. You just wait. Just wait.
I loved it. I could watch this match again. So, yeah. I mean, Alex, what do you think? Because I love the match.
Oh, forget match of the night. I agree. Match of the year candidate for sure. I agree. I think it's probably the best women's match I've seen on the main roster, and definitely one of my favorite. I mean, it got, like you said, 28 minutes. There was such a great story behind it because it wasn't just, oh, we're gonna start headlocking each other. It's no, I'm gonna embarrass you, and then now I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. It was brutal. I mean, sorry, Charlotte. I think you should let Io Shirai handle the moonsaults because did not like that one. But it was good. I mean, Becky was so goddamn over. There were some great spots, and the powerbomb was awesome. Props to both ladies. They absolutely stole the show. Highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen this match watch that.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, I agree with Alex. If you haven't watched this Evolution pay-per-view, or if you're looking for one match or two matches to watch, this is definitely top of the list. Go out of your way to check this match out. If you have 30 minutes to spare, 45 minutes to spare on a weekday, check out this match if you can. Did you notice during the video highlights they edited crowd reaction from Becky?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that. I didn't notice it. Maybe if I go back and rewatch it, I probably would, but I didn't notice them piping in the boos like people were saying, but I guess apparently they were. Stone Cold Becky, says Jeffrey Cross. Yes, absolutely.
You know what, Tony? Every other match on this show could have been shit. And some people could say maybe it was or not that great. But you know what? And this match alone delivered watching this 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think most of us, the majority of us in the chat room and us three here on the show thought we came in with very low expectations to the show. And it's not because of the show itself. It's because of how WWE portrayed it, how they booked it, how they promoted it, how they, they didn't do a very good job with the promoting of this show. Of maybe even the card itself was maybe a little bit weak to you guys, but it was a very entertaining show, and a lot of matches were pretty good. I mean, fuck, we even thought the Battle Royal was entertaining, and we were shitting on the concept. So I think they did a good job tonight. I really hope this continues. Now, my question is to you guys: should they keep it a one-time only year thing, or should they do maybe a two-time a year where they do 2 women pay-per-views a year?
I mean, hey, I'm more, if you're giving me like something like this, which I thought the overall presentation was great, yeah, I'm down for twice a year. Why not?
I agree too. But here's another question that people I'm sure are gonna ask, and what they're wondering, like, does this lead to the women getting their own? Yes, I know they're on Raw and SmackDown, and it may take away from that. But do the women deserve like their own show? Like a main event type show. Where they're just only women would wrestle on the show.
See, here's my thing.
I feel like you'd lose still a bit of a demographic.
Here's my question for you, because how would you work that? Now, could they go the New Japan route and just make an all-male roster and all-female roster?
No, I think I still think the women contribute to a demographic of their Raw and SmackDown, like you guys say. Nick the Bellas bring the total divas viewer revenue into the what you see on Raw and SmackDown.
No, I didn't mean remove them from the Raw or SmackDown.
No, because I understand you saying that, but it just wouldn't really, to me, if they have their own show, it really wouldn't make sense for them to be on Raw or SmackDown, because they have their own show that they can concentrate on. Yeah, exactly. Kind of what 205 Live does. Now, what Alex is saying is that they have a demographic of women who watch, or girls or little, kids who watch, women like the Bellas or Ronda Rousey, and they think maybe that will take away from them if they take them off the show. And that's why I asked you, should they just do a all-female roster show and an all-male roster show if they were going to go that route? But I don't think they will, or they have that even in mind. I think the one time a year type of deal works perfectly. Would you be okay with them maybe advancing it to 4 hours, or does 3 hours seem perfectly fine?
No, I'd be fine with 4 hours, because we saw some matches kind of got cut short. So sure, they actually build. If it means splitting up some of the Battle Royal, which most of them were, no one really cared. Yeah.
But I do think they will have women's tag titles.
Yeah, that by next event, they're definitely going to have.
Yeah,
probably the coordination of it.
Yeah, I definitely think by next women's pay-per-view that they'll have women's tag team titles in the company. So, all right, let's go with match of the night.
Is there really any guess
other than the last women standing match? What other match kind of piqued your interest?
I would have to go with Baszler and Zayn's match.
Okay, dark horse match.
What's my dark horse match now?
Now, yeah, what match did you not expect to be good, but you kind of went, all right, I'm kind of feeling this match?
I guess I would go with the opening match, that tag match. I was surprised what spot it was in, and I wasn't expecting it to be very good, and it was entertaining and nostalgic.
Okay, who won the Battle Royal? Nia Jax won the Battle Royal. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I think I have the same choice as Dave. I really like the Kyrie and Baszler match, and yeah, the opening match was pretty enjoyable.
I will say the same, but I'm going to go with Battle Royal. I thought that match, I came with zero expectations, thinking that match was going to be garbage, and I actually was entertained for the most part of the whole match. And I'm not upset that Nia Jax won. I'm not upset that Asuka got eliminated. kind of had that feeling that she was probably not going to win, but I'm actually kind of okay with the outcome in the match. Are you fine that they didn't have a pre-show match? Absolutely. I did not have no problem with them not having an opening match on the pre-show, because what pre-shows are supposed to be, it's getting you ready for the actual show. You know, showing the promos, showing you getting ready for the matches that they're going to have on the card. And I think they did a good job with that.
See, I disagree to a point, because I wouldn't have minded to see them like showcase some of the other Mae Young Classic winners. Hey, you guys can be on the pre-show match. We're gonna showcase you like that.
Or like some of the NXT, like that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see, like, someone who competed in the Mae Young Classic, have them have a tag match or something like that, just to say, here are these women or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I was fine with they did their whole little red carpet thing. And hell, when's the last time we ever seen Michael Cole on a panel? I mean, that was so shocking, a pre-show panel.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of Michael Cole tonight?
It wasn't bad. I liked him from Mae Young Classic. So like I said, Triple H told him put over those women, and he did.
Yeah, I enjoyed him. I thought he was good. I mean, it's not like his normal Michael Cole you get from Monday Night Raw. It's a different Michael Cole. So
yeah, I thought it was a refreshing Michael Cole, because as much as we bash Michael Cole, we forget how good he actually can be on commentary, that he can really be really good on commentary, and it's not all these force-fed lines that he's given. He can actually have a pretty good show on commentary, and I thought he did a really good job tonight. So not other than what we had tonight, there was other news in the wrestling world. I don't know if everybody heard about it, but
Jeff Jarrett,
we have some new. I'll repeat that.
Okay, good night, guys. Good night.
We have new Evolve Tag Team Champions. I will repeat that one more time. We have new Evolve Tag Team Champions, and I don't remember if I recall we said something about the Street Profits going into Evolve and battling for the tag team titles. And by golly, it happened, everybody. The Street Profits are your new Evolve Tag Team Champions. Your thoughts, Alex?
I mean, hey, they're not doing anything on NXT, so might as well give them something to do. I think it's cool that WWE has this like deal with Evolve, like where they could send talent like that, because it's clear like they can let Street Profits like kind of work Evolve and like let them work on their craft and try and like get better. And then when they come back to the NXT, like they can actually like really get somewhere. And it's also cool like to think like they could bring the titles onto NXT, kind of how Pete Dunne brings they feature Pete Dunne. So yeah, good for them. It gives them something to do. As long as they stay off NXT and Evolve, good for them.
No. They can be on both shows. I think they benefit both shows, and they can't keep them off NXT because of the Street Profits. What about you, Dave? What'd you think? New tag team champions.
Who?
The Street Profits.
Who?
This team on the screen right here in front of your face.
Oh, I thought that was trash on my phone. Oh, that's a tag team? Who did they beat?
Nobody.
Oh, they beat Beverly Brothers?
Y'all are a disgrace.
No, who did they beat, Tony?
I didn't look it up, Dave. I don't know all that shit about Evolve.
Nobody's.
but I'm gonna be into it now. The Street Profits are the new Evolve Tag Team Champions.
Tony, you know what they won? You know that part in WWE 2K19 career mode where you design your own belt? That's literally it.
It's the 2K title.
It's the 2K, the Buzz title.
I mean,
how would you rate the show?
I'll tell you what, they're booked better than fucking Asuka. How about that?
Well,
how about that?
These other main roster makes more money than both of them combined. Let's not go that far, buddy.
Right. Y'all need to calm down there.
Uh-huh.
Asuka couldn't afford the Street Profits cup that they sip out of.
Oh, the Walmart. You mean the Walmart Dixie cup? Yeah.
Yeah, their painted red Solo cup.
All right. How do you guys rate the show?
Yes. Go, Dave. What would you give this show?
This show? I was gonna rate it a 10 for this show, but until you had the Street Profits on, it's probably a -5. But I mean, I give it a 5 because I thought it was a damn entertaining show.
Look at Iowa Neck, man. This cemented their place as the greatest tag team ever. Oh my god!
I will say this, Tony.
You're my new best friend, Iowa.
Really quick, before Alex talked about his rating, I'll say this. You know what? If it didn't happen, WE, it never happened.
All right, what did you think of the show, Alex?
I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. You guys want equality? I'm going to treat it like a WWE show. So it was fun. I definitely want to see another one.
I absolutely agree with you. I actually, I'm going to give it a 5, man. I'm going to give it a 5. I was actually, and I may be overreacting or whatever have you. I actually enjoyed everything on the show tonight. I didn't really have an issue with anything too much to where it'd be like, fuck this show. I didn't really like it too much. I thought this match was pretty good. I thought the special was pretty good. Yeah, they did a shitty time promoting it, but it was a really good show. And I think we've had this. What show was that? We came in with low expectations and the show was pretty good. What WWE show was that? Can we remember? Was it Hell in a Cell? I went to that one, so I don't think it was Hell in a. Maybe it was, but went into it with low expectations tonight, and I thought it was a very overall fantastic show. So we'll see what happens from now on. Where we, oh my damn cats, where we see if we see what we see after this. Do we see more rematches? Do we see Nikki Bella versus Rousey again? It's going to be very interesting to see what happened. 4.7 from Bob Ruski. I had tiny issues. You got to give it a 4.4 out of 5. So pretty high ratings tonight from this show. It looks like a lot of people enjoyed it for the most part. I don't know. I don't really have much else to say other than that we will be back live with everybody on Tuesday. Adam Austin said, "Oh, Hell in a Cell was terrible." Definitely wasn't that. How much did it cost? What, the show?
$10.99 or $9.99.
$9.99. It wasn't on pay-per-view, so you can only watch it on the network. So it was $9.99 or free if you're a new member of the WWE network. So
that's what was cool about this tonight. I think this wasn't a pay-per-view that you would get monthly that you could order on. This was just WWE Network. I mean, that's what was cool about that. I think.
Yeah, the crowd really did good tonight. I think maybe the crowd was what helped the show.
Yeah,
because they were really into the show the whole night. They didn't kind of go quiet anytime. They were pretty much into the matches the whole night. And props to the crowd for making this show even better. Anything else before we're live again on Tuesday night? Raw SmackDown Live post show before we end tonight's show and do our shout outs.
No, Monday's coming up. We got Crown Jewel build up to Friday.
Yeah, so the quick rundown of this week's show will be Tuesday, SmackDown Live Raw post show. Maybe even give our predictions for Crown Jewel as well. And then Friday will be Crown Jewel itself. We will not be going live for Friday's Crown Jewel post show, nothing like that. We'll talk all of that on Saturday. Get you guys ramped up and talk about that. NXT, Mae Young Classic, all that. And we're going to go an hour earlier. So instead of
done.
Yeah, not the Mae Young Classic, excuse me, the NXT and 205 Live. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go an hour earlier on Saturdays. We'll probably even announce it on Twitter again with you guys, but we're going an hour earlier. So instead of 10 Eastern, 9 Eastern, because the shows went a little bit long last night. So we're going to try to work on the time issues and try not to go as long as we did last night as well. And luckily we didn't have any technical issues. So appreciate that as well. Thank you, Bob Ruski, again for being the awesome moderator that you are and getting all these porn bots and trolls out of here. Thank you for the over 1,900 people that came in here and chit-chatted. And thank you for the current 28 people. 28 people who are in here right now talking with us. Jeffrey Cross, Derek, Alice, Kevin, Spees. Don't forget to follow them and join their show tomorrow night. Peckinrod, Bob Aruski, Adam Awesome, Jimbo, Junebug, a.k.a. Jugatti, Truth and Loyalty. That's a bot. Debbie, that's a bot as well. Sorry. Brad, Jody, Bliss, Juanito, and I think that's it. If I miss anybody, please say hello so I don't say hello. Don't miss anybody. Oh, so what if we went long? Wrestling talk, always good. Yeah, but when you go like 2 hours and it's getting past midnight on the East Coast time, it's a little bit too long. Why? Who doesn't love talking wrestling? That's absolutely true. We're not going to go low. We're going to still go the same amount of time. We're just going to go earlier. So we don't go. Yeah. So we don't start and end. End past midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So that's why we're going to start earlier. That's all. So we'll be live again, everybody, on Tuesday night. We'll be live tweeting Raw. So if you can, follow us at those Twitter accounts. And you can live tweet with us tomorrow night for Raw. Any last thoughts, Dave, before we say bye-bye?
Thanks for joining us. It was a fun night. I enjoyed wrestling tonight. I mean, I think a lot of us went into, like you said, not really expecting to enjoy this and to be like, oh, this is over yet. But, yeah, I enjoyed it top to bottom. So, see you guys Tuesday. Have fun. Don't forget NXT UK at 3 o'clock Eastern. And then you got Impact on Thursdays, and we'll talk about and Jericho Cruise on Saturday.
Oh, yes. I'll be there tomorrow, Speeds. And I can't wait for your Evolution Smart Tiers. Those are funny. Because I was going to look up on Twitter and see all the hate that they were doing. But we're going to do that for Crown Jewel. I think it's going to be even worse. Yes, Crown Jewel's Friday. So what now for Becky? Not sure, but we'll touch more of that on Tuesday night. Hello, Shamaya Hills and Anthony. Thank you guys for joining us again. So, yes, Speeds and the Benchmark tomorrow night. We'll be live again on Tuesday night as Evolution top 5 best pay-per-view this year. Quick, yes or no, Alex?
What?
Is Evolution a top 5 pay-per-view this year?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Dave?
So, isn't it kind of hard to compare because you have both men and women on the shows of other ones?
Enjoyment, though.
If you're saying enjoyment and like better ones of the year, then yeah, it could have been possibly the best one if you don't count like NXT what they do. If you just do WWE main roster, kind of what this was, but yeah, I mean, I guess you could throw it up there.
All right. Jody Mania, thank you for always joining us. Another big supporter of our show, longtime listener. So thank you, everybody, again, from the bottom of our hearts for making this show run like it does. Y'all are the main reason for us going live every week, because without you guys, we would just be talking to ourselves. So we do appreciate everybody coming in here and showing us support. Hey, Lloyd Strickland in the house. Thank you for joining us. I know it's into the show, but thank you for popping in here, man. Thank you for joining us as always. So thank you again. Hope you everybody have a great night. We're going to end the show with some Becky Lynch because I think she deserves it. And we will be back with you guys on Tuesday night. Thank you again so very much. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and over on the YouTube. We also have a Patreon. You can check that out in our Periscope profile. But please, if you can, subscribe on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we will see you Tuesday night. Thank you, everybody.